Hello everyone and welcome to the Deepbluerenegade podcast. My name is Molly, also known as the Deepbluerenegade. I'd like to welcome you guys to episode 88. Today is Monday, May 25th, 2015, and I am really glad you guys could join me today. I tried to record an episode last Wednesday and it was an epic failure. It turned out I had set up the audio incorrectly, so instead of using the microphone on my webcam, it was trying to take it from the speakers, and so there was no sound. It was very bad. Normally I test the sound first. So, what can you do? Actually, I'm sort of off kilter. Here, and lose my flyer. Oh well, no worries. Hopefully there isn't too much extra sound. I'm recording later than usual, and it's definitely dark and gray, unfortunately. But what can you do? It's been, I think it's rained so much lately, so there were big thunderstorms this afternoon when I was flying away. And so here we are. So I think to start off, I'd like to show off what I've finished. I probably will have to fetch that later. It's my pattern into a bucket. So, I finished, so you guys haven't even seen this, but this is, Holden. And it still needs to be blocked. But I'm pretty sure it's going to block appropriately large for this. I think in the last episode I was trying to figure out what pattern I wanted to knit my Nest hand spun in. So this is from my Nest Primavera, which is a superwash merino blend. It's the April 2014 colorway because I was in Nest's club. It was my primary knitting. Actually, it's sort of nice to have in my lap, but I suppose I should show you guys how it looks. So it was my primary knitting while I went on a trip to watch my cousin get married. And it turned out that it was a dreadful trip because I was sick the entire time. And pretty much the whole thing was I brought my Union Jack Argyle socks to knit on, but really it was the Holden that was the only thing I worked on that trip. In terms of modifications to the pattern, I only made one. Since I ended up using pretty much all of the 420 yards I had of this yarn, so I did the bind off actually in the Navajo ply, and what I did was actually a pearl bind off instead of a picot bind off. But I think it looks pretty nice, and I'll block out the points, and I think it'll be fine not having the picot bind off. And I tried a lot of different things, and it was just a giant hot mess. I tried doing the double pearl bind off. Oh no, there wasn't enough yarn for that. I tried doing the picot bind off, and I realized I'd used up more than half of my remaining yarn before the halfway mark, and then I was going to use one of my other white hand spun yarns, but that totally didn't even match, and so I was like, okay. I give up. So I'm very happy with how it turned out. It's definitely very pastel-y, which isn't my normal color palette, but I think the pattern works nicely with the hand spun stripiness of it all. I did a a 1:7 fractal 2-ply with it. So yeah, I thought it was pretty cool. So this is one of those things that you show up and I'm debating about making it, and then suddenly it's done. So this counted for 420 yards for Stash Dash, which was pretty awesome. And what is it? Because I suppose I should start a post or something like that of keeping track of all of my Stash Dash yardage and all that other fun stuff. But this was the first thing that I finished for Stash Dash. I finished it on Friday. So that is the story there. And I pretty much followed the pattern as written. The last time I made this pattern, I think I added an extra repeat. And then also ran out of yarn during the Pico bind off, but what can you do? Now, what I'm actively working on right now is the Union Jack Argyle socks. So, I have one sock completed now, which is super duper exciting. And it is a little bit, there's definitely some bunching, especially in the stripy section of the foot, so that stretches out, so maybe if I block it hard it'll be fine. And this is a pattern from the Think Outside the Socks book. And I got a start on the second sock, which apparently it's coming off the needles, so I'll quick fix that. Apparently I wasn't very careful when I shoved it into the bag last night. So, how much am I into this? I'm a little bit past one pattern repeat in, and now it's coming off the needles again. Alright, so I'm a little bit more than one pattern repeat in. I'm going to do 2 pattern repeats before I start the heel, and I'm doing the leg on size US 1.5 or 2.25 millimeter needles, because that actually fits. I knit the cuff with 0s. I knit the heel flap with 1s. I did 1s until I finished the gusset decrease, and then I switched back to 0s for the rest of the foot. So it seems like that worked out in terms of sizing. I definitely liked, the look of the 0s way more for the Farrell than the 1.5s, but getting it over my husband's massive heels with his skinny chicken legs was challenging. So, cruising along on this now, and this is actually my only knitting project on the needles right now, so I'll continue cruising, I suppose, on it, because I'm not really sure what it is that I want to knit right now. So, that is that. And I was very excited when I weighed my yarn. I had more of the blue, I had less of the red, and the total was, and the total amount of yarn was actually greater than how much yarn I used for the first sock. So I had like 63 grams of sock yarn, right, 63 grams of yarn left over, and it took 55 to knit the first sock. So I was really excited about that. Okay. So that is all of the knitting that's fit to share today. I have been doing a lot of spinning, so I can launch into that. Petunia. I actually have a petunia over there. So this has been a long time coming, so I've been updating my project pages. Apparently I started this in January, and this is the Your Daily Fiber Camel Silk. And I ended up getting, I ended up getting 614 yards of the 2-ply. And oh man, it was a pain to ply. I was plying from both ends of a center pull ball, and oh my goodness. What a pain. So that took, it took quite a lot of time. This was what I was working on the 22nd, but I didn't end up finishing it until, I believe, the 23rd. It took a very long time to ply, for lack of a better word. But it is very soft, and I was actually impressed because when I pulled it off the nitty knotty, it only had like half a twist. So I don't know if that means I underplied it, or it's just gonna have, I don't know what, but it's very soft, it's very fine. I was hoping for 800 yards, but whatever, 614 will be close enough. That'll be plenty for whatever lacy shawl I decide to make with it. And it's definitely the case where there is a decent amount of variation in the, there are definitely fingering portions, there are definitely cobweb portions. So making it something with really huge needles, I think, would make the most sense for this yarn. So, yay! So this was from, my Something Special Cal, which I was hosting at the beginning of the year. So, man, plan that took a long time to finally finish. But I suppose I did finish spinning the singles and then held the plying off of Stash Dash, so that was some more yardage for the total. And what I was delaying podcasting for was that I actually finished the Into the World Death Fiber. So, what is it? Now this one's pretty crazy looking right now. It still needs a path. But yeah, no, look at that. Look at how crazy it is. I definitely put lots of twist in it. It's a 3-ply. And then when I ran out of the long color repeat singles, I took the short color, I took the end of the heaviest ball, and then started to do a 3-ply with 2 ends from the ball and 1 end from the other one. And then at the very end, I ended up Navajo plying the big ball itself, because the big ball was actually quite a bit heavier than the other ones. So it really turned out very, very gorgeous. So tons and tons of barber pulling, which is what I was hoping for. And this is going to become socks. So this was 5.5 yards. All 3-ply. So I was actually really impressed with the yardage. Like, as I was going, like, once I made it to 100 yards, I looked at how much was remaining and like, oh crap. I spun this finer than I intended to. So this might turn out that I don't need to draft nearly as aggressively when I'm doing, when I'm playing around with my fast flyer on the Lendrum. But, oh, look pretty. So this is probably going to become socks very, very soon. Because, I am doing this for the Mega Sal, and that ends at the end of June. And just because this is totally meant to be sock yarn. I spun it with the intent of making socks. I'm probably going to end up knitting it on my 00s. But honestly, this is pretty consistent as far as yarn goes, I think, in my opinion. It's definitely on average mostly a fingering. So continuing to learn and grow and all that other fun stuff. So I was really happy with how this turned out. And I'll need to take a photo after I finish after I give it its bath, because I have a lot of bathing that needs to occur. I'll take a photo with with one of my Discworld books, and so that'll be really cool. So, but it's so crazy and twisty, but I think that is what you need for socks, so that's what I did. Yeah, I know that had like 3 twists in it. Oh well. The truth will come after the bath in terms of how balanced this turns out to be. I think it was pretty good. So we will find out. We're already doing better than the last time I recorded this episode, because I think I was done by now. Oh, silliness. I have one more thing to show you guys. So I have been spinning away. I don't even remember what I was working on the last episode, but I ended up starting the singles for the Julie Spins spin-along that's going on in the Completely Twisted Arbitrator. And it is currently attached to the flyer, because right now I have the jumbo flyer. And you can see a little bit of, I finally came across some of the blacks as I was spinning the singles. And my plan is to actually try to fit all 5 ounces onto the bobbin. And since I'm spinning pretty fine, because this is, This is, I'm trying to remember. So this is, the head. And then this is my fast flyer. I do not have a super fast flyer, or extra fast, or whatever. And I believe I was spinning on the biggest notch there. I guess I forgot to write that one down. But this is Julie Spins. The colorway is Plum Blossom, but really I think it's Cherry Blossom, but whatever. And it is so pink and girly and ridiculous, it's sort of hilarious. So this has got to be lace weight. I don't know, I keep trying for lace weight. It is very, very fun. And I still have quite a lot of fiber to go. So here's my bag of fiber. So I still have quite a lot more spinning to go here. So I was working on this until Thursday, and then on Friday I started my plying spree. So I still have quite a lot more fiber to go. It looks like, what is it? So this is the end I haven't spun from, so it goes from there. So this is where I'm going to pick off, and I guess I'll keep going away. And really I haven't done anything at all to prep with this. It was a little bit challenging to draft at first, because I think, what is it, you forget how far apart your hands need to be when you're doing BFL. And because it's BFL and silk, the stapling is like way longer than I'm used to. Way longer than the usual. But it has been pretty and fun so far. I'm not sure if this is the sort of fiber that I end up, or this is the sort of handspun which I end up giving away, because I'm not normally a pink person. But I am really happy with how it's spinning up. And it has been a fun adventure to do things in different colors and all that other stuff. Just sort of de-air that a little bit. So it's coming along, and it's probably going to be thrown on my wheel pretty soon. And I've just been using the plastic bag to contain the fiber. I suppose I could use my little spinning bag, because I don't think I have any fiber in it right now. What was it? Because I did pull out some fiber to spindle spin, and then it turned out that I was just way too sick last weekend in order to spin, so. But it appears that I'm good for spinning now, which is all that matters. Let's see, is there anything else I intended to talk about? Yeah, so for the moment I haven't cast on anything new, and I probably won't cast on anything new until the depth fiber is dry. Though it would be a little bit crazy to have 2 socks on the needles at the same time. I'm probably going to do a pretty simple pattern. Oh, how could I have forgotten? So something, what is it, super duper exciting happened on Friday. So apparently all my set of stocking skills came in handy. My F5 mad dash, and I managed to snag a spot at the Super Summer Knit Together. So I had been on the wait list, my name had not been called, so I managed to snag like the last spot. It was like, there was like mad panic, because I was like seeing posts pop up, like, reply! Ah! But what is it? They went really, really fast. So I'm not sure whether or not it was the fairest way to give away the spots, but I was home. I woke up and made sure that I was ready to go at the right time, and success. So I am really, really excited that I'm able to go. Because what is this? Because I think, what is it? In the past, I think, what is it, the first time, like, I think I had just started, like, I found out, like, if I had watched the most recent Knit Girls episode when I started to watch the Knit Girls, I might have been able to get in, but no. And I'm not sure about the second time. Last year was a case where there was no way that I was going to have enough vacation time because I had just started a new job. But I think finally the stars have, whatever, aligned, and we'll be good to go. So, so if any of you guys are going there, I'm like so excited to meet you guys. And I think it'll be whatever, a lot of fun. I'm really looking forward to it. So I'm just waiting to hear back from someone about how much money I actually need to send. And then that check will be in the mail. So, yeah, so I'm really excited about that. So, anything else that I wanted to talk about? I don't know, I think that was actually everything. So it's still a pretty short episode. I don't know, there's only so much I can speak about spinning. I've been doing a lot of spinning lately, and I don't have a very wide vocabulary to describe the spinning, so oh well, such is life. But I hope you guys all have a lovely week, and I look forward to talking to you guys next week. What is it? That will be, is May a month? May is a month with 31 days, so I bet that's the 31st of May. Yeah, 25 plus 6 will be 31, so, yeah. So, I should be recording on Sunday again. This was just a weird thing, it turned out. I ended up getting busy yesterday and not having a chance, and then I really wanted to finish the death, so now I'm recording late. But I hope you guys all have a great week, and I'll talk to you again soon. So take care, guys. Bye-bye.